So we see influencers glamorizing this hustle online. Are we looking at female empowerment or are we just ignoring a much darker reality? Today I'm going to discuss the latest drama blowing up on TikTok. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't kept up with every single detail, thank God, because I do have a life. And based on what I've seen, I have some thoughts. Woo Lady is this TikTok influencer who has been giving out quote unquote free game on how women can get money and tricks out of men, specifically in Miami. To be fair, she isn't saying anything that dozens of other influencers haven't already said, but there are a few major things we need to pay attention to here. First, the fact that young women are actively flocking to Woo Lady, asking how to be more attractive or how to land a trick is proof of how deeply ingrained this mindset is. Honestly, victimhood is a core part of the psychology behind what some would even call tricking.
They said you a madam. Tell them broke ass hoes. Let me ask yourself a question. When City Girls was making a song, they was a madam. When Trina told y'all lick her fucking crack, she was a madam. Them hoes mad cause I'm big and black. They mad cause I'm telling y'all where the money at. You know who? You know the people that's telling me I'm a madam? It's the hoes that already fuck broke niggas and got a broke ass baby daddy. Where's my paycheck? If I was a pimp and a madam, where's my cut? Do y'all know what a madam is? You gotta pay her. Where's my cut? If I'm pimping, where the fuck my money at? Just because I'm putting y'all on game, I'm a madam. Just because I'm telling y'all where to get the niggas with the money at, I'm a madam. So if I'm a madam, where's the fuck my cut at? Do you know what a pimp is? When I send a bitch to go suck a dick and I get 40%, where's my 40%? Stop playing on me, bitch. I don't gotta pimp no hoe, be a matter to no hoe. Bitch, I'm worried about my pussy only. Just because I'm giving y'all hoes game where to go, they mad because I'm educating y'all. You know who called me madams? Hoes that's already fucked out and burnt out. They mad they can't be like us young hoes getting up and going. They already got 5 kids, that's why they mad. Read the comments. You know how many hoes said, man, I wish I would have knew this shit. Them hoes wishing right now. They burnt out, fucked out. They mad because they already fucked for free, had a kid for free. Y'all mad because I don't want to live like that? You mad because I don't want to suck a dick for free? That's pimping now? Because I tell a nigga, hey, yo, buy me a car, pay my bills. I don't want to put a dick in my mouth for free. Now what? Now what? I don't want a dick for free. Now what? Y'all could do it. I'm not. I don't want a nigga feeding me food in the car, then want to come put a small ass dick in my ass. Now what? Now what? I don't want a $4 meal and then dick go in my ass. And he want to be freaky. Now what? All right. I don't want your bitch. I'm cool.
And can we talk about the irony? Seeing Wu Lady critique other women's hair when her own look is often the exact same, a wig, laid edges, and a ponytail is a little bit insane to me. Yet and still, it would be completely hypocritical of us to just pick her physical appearance apart, because the real issue is that this entire message shouldn't be spread by anyone, regardless of what they look like. The outrage online feels less about morals and more about fat phobia and colorism. Wu Lady is a plus size, dark skinned black woman, and when women who fit conventional beauty standards give the exact same game, they are praised as accomplished and glamorous. People don't criticize them the same way. The internet isn't mad at the message, they just hate the mouth it's coming from. But I want to look at the root economic causes. I was reading a study on the digital sex economy by Dr. Laurel Rogers, and she noted similar to workers in most straight jobs, many platform sex workers are driven into their line of work out of economic necessity. As is also the case with other forms of gig and freelance work, platform sex work affords workers a certain degree of agency over their schedule, place of work, and creative output. Moreover, many find sex work preferable to other forms of work due to the simple fact that it pays substantially better. It is, after all, one of the few industries where women are paid better than men. Women do what they have to do to survive. But the reality on the ground is far from an empowering TikTok aesthetic. The lines between choice, survival, and exploitation are incredibly thin. An article from the Houston Law Review Online breaks down the exact gray area perfectly. Much of the blurriness between human trafficking and sex work comes from competing views of what counts as good. Human trafficking is known as modern slavery, the epitome of bad. On the other hand, some view voluntary sex work as good or freeing, but in practice, it is difficult for the public and sometimes for the victims themselves to differentiate between sex work and trafficking. Traffickers take advantage of these blurred lines to further their coercive strategies and exploitative purposes. But perhaps just as common and even more difficult to fight is the exploitation of the American dream through the psychological coercion of victims. This is exactly why glamorizing this lifestyle online is dangerous. Traffickers feed on the desire for quick money and a better life, using psychological coercion to trap women. And when we talk about Miami, we aren't just talking about a party city, we are talking about ground zero for this crisis. According to a report by the University of Miami School of Law, Florida is the second largest hub of human trafficking in the United States. It is one of the top three states receiving trafficked women and children into the United States. Home to Florida's largest city and busiest port, Miami-Dade, suffers from pervasive labor and sexual trafficking rings that target women and children. In Miami-Dade, 96% of our minor victims and 92% of our adult victims are female, with young women sold into sex trafficking as early as age 13. Young girls have reported being sold for sex as much as 40 times a day. Poverty and economic insecurity enable traffickers to entrap and seduce women and children into the complex underground sectors of the economy. Let this sink in. Girls as young as 13 being sold up to 40 times a day because poverty and economic insecurity force them into a corner. Many women in these environments rely on substances just to cope with the pressure of the male gaze and the absolute trauma of the nightlife. We should always fight for women and children to be safe, regardless of their field of work. Yet, instead of directing energy toward fighting actual human trafficking and understanding these complex coercive systems, the internet is obsessed with tearing down also a woman's looks and just pretty much promoting it. We need to wake up and realize the truth, though. There is no man coming to save us. You can absolutely have high standards for yourself without relying on a man or trick. I'm going to play some commentary clips so you can hear the different opinions on this and see the blatant fatphobia that has taken over the conversation.
Y'all talking about the wrong things when it comes to Woo Lady. Y'all talking about should the women go down there, should they not? Be careful, be safe, which you always should. The fact that she's making so much money off y'all got my attention. So I was watching an hour worth of Woo Lady's clips and content. I'm not gonna lie, she is funny. People coming on live asking her questions on how to get a trick. Her responses being so blunt. Then she has the dudes pull up on the live too, telling the girls what they need to do to get tricked on. I'm like, oh, this all a game. Like nobody taking this serious for real. They can't be. Until she pulled out that phone and showed how she made 1K in a day from making an ebook on how to get tricked on. Then I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is just July 1st. She do this for 29 more days. She gonna make $30,000 in a month. It ain't no way y'all really paying for that.
Y'all do realize she's a pimp, right? That's a madame. That's basically Natalie Nunn 2.0. Like, why are we looking for tricks instead of looking for jobs? I don't.
Can we all agree on something, chat? Woo Lady has the mentality of a high schooler. She's male-centered, and she's a groomer. And everybody who comes around her gets influenced and groomed. And she tries to use this, it's a Miami thing, it's a Florida thing, as a cover-up. When in reality, it's tricks everywhere. It's scammers everywhere. It's hustlers everywhere. It's dope boys everywhere. So, I'm just calling it how I see it, though. First impressions are everything. And this is my second time seeing her on my timeline in some bullshit.
Jay Berserk made another great video. He said the girls and the gays need to practice discernment when it comes to the Woo Lady types. And I said, wow. Woo. First of all, I've been trying to figure out how I was going to talk about Woo Lady, but it seems like usually when I have something to say, Jay Berserk always says it for me. I feel like me and him are on the same wavelength. But he actually really woke this tea up, and it actually ties into what I've been telling you guys for months. since last year about human trafficking. I love when we get to have the conversation about this human trafficking that's going on out here because, and end all be all, that's what a lot of this shit is. That's where a lot of this shit leads to, and that's where the ending, pipeline goes to. He said something that once again, shout out to Jay Berserk. He said something that really just hit the nail on the head. We need to teach young people to get off of money, greed, materialism, all this stuff, because you have too many people who are willing to sell themselves and sell whatever it is that they have for quick things. It's normalized. We live in a culture and a society, and this is why I say it is that deep when it comes down to the music, when it comes down to who are the idols of today, when it comes to what's going on at home. Because quiet as it's kept, a lot of the woo lady types for a lot of these people be right at home. And that's the conversation that a lot of people don't want to have. Some of this stuff is really, truly unpreventable because the sickest people can start right at home. And a lot of people are having children for this reason. Either went through the process themselves and now are having children to bring the children back into the sick world. This is some of the things that I've learned. Or simply put, are just sick individuals them damn selves. And this is what I want you guys to understand. There's nothing. I'm sorry to just have to be moving slow. I know a lot of you guys don't like that. You guys don't have attention spans and to merely be going all over the place. But just follow me on this. Too many of you guys, and I know this is a point that you guys keep hearing, but I'm gonna drive it home for you guys. Too many of you guys hear trick, and first of all, that's another problem with social media. You guys have allowed all of these different words to take on these various different meanings when they never meant that. A trick was always there. If you're being tricked on, that means you were given something. That's what it always has meant. And you have people out here who really believe that they can participate in this, pay my bills, spend that shit culture without giving up anything. And that's just not how it works. That's never how it actually goes down. And that's not the reality. I said months ago on this platform, the statistics say that men are willing to pay for sex if the alignings are right. That means if the circumstances are right, that means if they feel like they can get away with it, if they have a significant other, if they feel like they can get away with it without their significant other knowing, if they feel like they can be sneaky, because a lot of people are doing shit based off of adrenaline. Fulfilling their wildest, twisted, darkest fantasies off of adrenaline, no soul, no emotion, not thinking too deep into it. And, people can put themselves in this situation and shit goes left very easily. And like he said, the woo lady types, and what you have to be careful for is that there are people who are so soulless and so desensitized to the world, and they just feel like the world is just so fucked up, and I'm just gonna play this effed up ass part. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna do anything to anybody, and I'm gonna do these sex crimes, because you guys would not believe it, but the sex crimes are the worst. Are like run rampant. I would honestly say that it's the number one issue across all communities, and then it goes into the culture, and the world in general has a deviancy issue. Especially here in America, we have a wild deviancy issue, and it's really bad. And it goes down to the whole culture that we just have as a society. But like I said, yeah, if the linings are right, these men are willing to pay for smacks. There are women out here that know it, and I wish that a lot of you guys would stop making it seem like these woo ladies. Like, I love Jay Berserk, but he titles this "The Girls and the Gays." Don't think these men are out here getting sex trafficked. Don't think these men are out here, getting fucked up, used and abused, and left for dead on drugs. I've told you guys several times when I came over here and I talked to you guys about the white gays, and I told you guys I know of several black men who have been drugged up dealing with the white gays and have been left in closet like dildos and all type of stuff. Don't ever think that this can't affect men as well, because there's a demand for that too. Just like they want to do stuff to the weakest people of society, they want to do the sick stuff to the strongest people of society. They'll torture men. Don't ever. Nobody is safe. If they can get you, if they can figure out a way to get your ass, they're gonna get your ass. So Nobody is safe. Everybody be careful of these woo lady types. Everybody wake up to the fact that 304 culture is not real, especially in this economy. I'm gonna tell you guys something. This whole spin that shit, the reason why they put all of that stuff out is that they know that living life right now is paper thin for people. It's paper thin for people. You know, people are struggling to make ends meet in this economy. They want you guys to start committing crimes, acting devious, just acting a fucking fool. That's what they want. That's what they want. So keep this in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Keep this in mind. Demurely out. I had to start doing that at my end of my videos because I was tired of not having thumbnails. Like, seriously.
Trigger warning, I'm in women's business. Trigger warning, trigger warning. All up and down my timeline is this discourse about tricking in Miami, and I have some opinions. I think it's absolutely insane that so many grown-ass adults need other grown-ass adults to get on TikTok and tell them that it's not safe to be traveling out of town looking for men to spend money on you. I think it's absolutely insane that you, as a fully grown adult, need another fully grown adult who you don't know, by the way, to get on here and tell you that there is a correlation between tricking and trafficking. I don't understand how you really believe you want to go somewhere, Miami of all places, and it's just all these old rich men with all this disposable income, and they just sitting around waiting on you to fly in so they can take you shopping and buy you purses and take you to fancy dinners and pay your rent, and you don't have to do anything. Absolutely nothing. I don't know how y'all were raised, but it sounds like you were raised pretty well. It sounds like you come from a good family. You wasn't raised to be like finessing and shit like this. I think you should stay where you at. Stay in your lane because it's safe over there. You're going to let these birds gas you up. Next thing you know, you trying new things, doing shit you ain't never did before. Now you addicted to something you never heard of before, and you're going back and forth to them little makeshift rehab centers, which I think is just one giant scam anyway. They all in on it. And you're just going to be like another victim. Stop doing that. Stay in school. Go to college. Get you a job. Y'all will throw your entire lives away just for the chance of a free Chanel bag. Is the purse really worth it? But that's just my 2 cents. Don't spend it all in one place.
We know that. Everybody know that. Find something else. Can't say a bitch ugly. Can't say a bitch broke. Can't say a bitch ain't got no job. Can't say a bitch ain't got a storefront. Can't say a bitch ain't got no.
So, in conclusion, how do we change the conversation so we are actually protecting young women instead of just policing their appearance online or shaming them at times? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and thank you for tuning in to Books and Looks TV. I'll see y'all next time.